Hi chess fans, this is Douglas. I'm here on Lee Chess looking at the 2018 World Championship between Magnus Carlsen and the challenger Fabiano Caruana. Both of these two are the best rated. Fabiano Caruana won the candidates tournament, and so Magnus Carlsen, being the defending champion, is taking him on. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe. If not, that's cool. All right. So we'll start off. Magnus has the black pieces and Caruana has the white pieces. And right away, with e4, the king's pawn. And then Magnus responds with c5. And you can see right here we have the time also. They get an hour and 40 minutes. And after each move, they get 30 minutes. Or 30 minutes, 30 seconds additionally. So then Fabiano comes out with the knight, and Magnus continues Sicilian defense, old Sicilian, and then the bishop comes out, and it looks like Magnus is getting ready for the Fianchetto of the bishop, and then right here we have takes, and then takes back, getting that double pawns there. And then Caruana continues to develop, and Magnus continues with his fianchettoing here. And then it looks like he might be getting ready to castle. The knight's out. So right away, as you can see from these first 8 moves, it does say an inaccuracy here to the side on 7, but that's not really, a big deal, especially at the beginning. And the moves are going pretty fast, so we haven't taken a lot of time for these first 10 moves. And then right here we see Fabiano, he kind of took a little bit extra time than Magnus for this move. And so this idea here, just forcing and trying to get that center pawn position. Takes, and then he takes with the rook. Drops back. Queen comes up. So then Magnus, now he's at an hour left and an hour, and then once they get to the move 40, then they get an additional time back to them. I think that's 30 minutes additionally. So right there, Caruana was thinking about that for a while. 30 minutes to 54 minutes. And then we've got an immediate attack back on there, because he's got a couple of different ways to defend with his rooks, so he just jumps out of the way. Then in any game, we still have the queens on the board. This is the middle game now, and he's down to 20 minutes, and maybe he's thinking of trapping the knight here. I have seen Magnus do that in other games where now this knight doesn't have any squares to go, because, well, it could jump back in there, but to either one of these spots on the F file. Continuing, threatening that knight, ignoring the threat. He's down to 16 minutes now. Now he takes the pawn, and then we're going to see some exchanges coming up. Just goes back. Fabiano goes back. Magnus Carlsen, now he takes with the bishop. Takes with the pawn. Throw the knight in there. Exchanging the knight for the bishop. Then kind of ignoring this threat, saying you can take it, I'll just take it with my queen. So that's what he does. Brings the queen over. This is an interesting move here. Okay, and he's down to 6 minutes and he's at 25 minutes. How is he going to block this? I think he's thinking with his knight there. Yep. So takes the pawn. Gets his king in better position. pushing the pawn. And then this is when I was watching a live stream on this. This is around this area is where they're saying that, yeah, there's a lot of ideas here that Carlsen had like a winning position here. Like he had a lot of ideas, oh, whoops, of he could like take this, and they went into some depth about this, about how his positioning, and his king's in good position too. And then I think the pawn play maybe was a little bit, like the idea I think is to get his rook here. And then he's getting his king in better position. Yeah, right here, something about, you know, going all the way over here, potentially, and with the queen and the rook here, just piling up. But instead he drops back, and then he takes, protecting it. Maybe he's thinking going all the way to here, and then it would be certainly a mate threat soon, with any ideas of getting his queen over there. Now he takes the pawn, drops back, and this is where he has to take the queen exchange, and then he decides not to, so he forces it, and now we're down to the rook and the bishop and the rook and the, and you see they've met it at the 40 move mark, so they got that extra time. I think it's 30 minutes. So now they're even on time, and then yeah, he's got to deal with this issue of getting a promotion here. And so the same idea here. So he's thinking of getting his promoted, and then of potentially trying to protect that. He's protecting it so that he can come over here to get the pawn, and then maybe go here, but he's blocking that. Or they have two. They both have two on this spot right here, on this pawn. So now we're going to the other side, and that's what, you know, spreading out the pawns, not looking good to be able to promote with these three separated. This looks like a potential for getting a, so he takes, and then we're down to 2 pawns to 3 pawns. So can Magnus figure this out, how to get the positioning, or is Caruana going to, and these guys are really deep thinking about these moves too. Looks like we hit another time control. I'm not sure when that one is, because he had 30 minutes, so I'll put that in the description, the time controls. And then slowly moving, just kind of trying to figure out if there's any way to get a mistake here. And I think this is what they were saying too. This could have been like, if he didn't move his king here, that this could have been a line where there's a checkmate idea, because he's protecting this pawn and this pawn. And if he would have moved over to here, then it would have something like, because it's protected, so if he would have moved there, then he would have moved his pawn up here. Something about that, it could have been a checkmate. I was looking at a couple of different analysis of that, but we don't go for that. Still trying to do the little things. This is a really long game. Already at move 87, and they're still trying to figure it out. 20 minutes left to 10 minutes, and they get what? Oh, what happened? Oh no. How did that happen? And then they get down to 10 minutes, and then they get one pawn, exchange off those pawns, and we're just not really going anywhere. Trying to just eke it out, and they're getting 30 seconds here too. And then that's it. They call a draw at 115 moves. So yeah, the first game of the World Chess Championship of 2018 is a draw. Game 1, and then game 2, I'll have an analysis for that and try to see where they can improve or the mistakes. Thanks for watching, and if you want to go out there now and play, so I'm leaving a quote at the end. Thanks for sticking around. Chess is the struggle against the error. And I think that in this one, Magnus, at a couple of chances, he could have, at right around move 40 or 50, that's when, a slight error, the slightest errors occur, but, you just got to keep playing. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Take care.